Alrighty, welcome everyone. It's Monday, and I'm here to announce two polls. Not one, but two. And I'm pretty excited, because this is going to be a pretty marked shift in the way that the channel works a little bit. I'm a little nervous, a little bit excited. We'll see how it all shakes out. So, there will be a couple of things that'll be different moving forward. The first is that I'm going to do something on Mondays. It's currently Monday. Not much is going to be happening today except polling stuff, but in the future, I want to do things on Mondays, and Retro Monday Overdrive hasn't been working for me. I'm not exactly sure why. I suspect it might be because I have two older shows currently going every Thursday, and it's just a little much for me. But it was already sort of fading before that. I don't know why. I just haven't been as engaged with that style of content. Maybe it'll come back. Maybe it won't. If there's a lot of demand for it, maybe it certainly will, but we'll see. I am going to, for now, shelve Retro Monday Overdrive and move toward the most obvious alliterative for Monday, which is, of course, Manga Monday. So there will be a manga poll going up. At the same time, I just finished episode 11 of the Swordsmith's Village arc of Kimetsu no Yaiba, which made my brain leak out of my ears, because it was pretty cool. And that means that Friday, at the end of the week, is also open for a poll. So, there will be 6 shows listed on a Friday poll to go against each other. There will be one other big change to the way that the polling works, and I think it will be a good one, but I'm curious to see how it will shake out, and if it has terrifying, unexpected repercussions, which so often happens when I put things... If I do it, like, one little change to a poll, everything explodes. Everything just, like, it just explodes. And I don't understand why sometimes, but I don't think this will be a huge explodifier, but it might be a really interesting change. In previous polls, we've had a sliding scale between hell nah all the way through meh, where you just like whatever, and up through hell yeah as the scale of liking the thing. Sort of like when you take a personality quiz and it gives you like a -2 to a +2 with a 0 in between. That's what the polls have been for a while. It's like, I can go, no, I really don't want to see that show. Or I can go, oh my god, I will cut off all of my fingers and sell them on the black market. If only, why would you sell fingers? Who would buy your fingers? If only I could watch Teeaboo watch this show. Right. Okay. I'm removing the hell nah part. Because it's not that interesting as information. The information that somebody doesn't want to watch a show, super interesting. Very important to know that. Because, like, I'd like to know if a huge portion of my audience is very much against a certain thing. But what I'm most interested in are actually the people who are interested in the show. And I think their votes should be weighted higher than votes that are like, I don't like the thing. Because that's fine to not like the thing. But the people who are actually going to be watching it and commenting on it and engaging with the videos are the ones who will vote yes. And so I'm much more interested in their passion for the thing than I am in anger about the thing. So my hope is that this will cause more positivity around the shows that we're trying to watch. I'm most interested in the positive affirmation of like, yeah, that would be cool, I'll watch that. Or even the, I don't know, but maybe, yeah, sure, whatever, than I am in boo, you know? And this way you can still boo, but you can't boo quite as hard. And I think that will lead to a slightly different distribution of poll graphs, obviously. Some unexpected repercussions that might be disastrous, because shit happens. And maybe the possibility for more interesting, controversial, weird, passionate, or passion-inducing shows to get through on the polls. I think this will be a big boon for people who like seeing weirder stuff, but I don't know. The actual repercussions could be dramatically bad. So we'll see. And you'll help me see, I hope, by going and voting in the poll if you can. And that would be really cool. And we can embark upon this slight shift experiment as I re-engage with the poll system that's honestly been working pretty darn well for a little while, and try to make it just slightly better with a hopefully small tweak that doesn't explode everything. I hope. The second thing, manga slot. And it's going to be a weird one. So now I'm also curious. I haven't put the polls up yet as I'm making this video, as I'm speaking it out. I'm pretty certain of what I want to put on them. But I think I'm going to put the video up maybe like an hour before I actually put the polls up. If I make a terrible mistake in the way that I framed the poll, I'd like to know that. And pretty often I'll put up a poll and I'll put up the video and like 4 comments will be like, hey, why isn't this thing on the poll? It's like a shoo-in for the victory. And I'm like, fuck. Do I have to go and remake the poll? Do I edit it and rebuild the video? Like, what do I do here? And I think the answer is post the video before I post the poll so that I can get a little bit of feedback, the initial wave of feedback first, and then make the poll as good as possible once it actually goes up. So maybe an hour after the video goes up, the poll goes live. So then I will err on the side of telling you what I plan to put on the poll and why I plan to put it on the poll for my own stupid reasons. Forgive me. And you can tell me why it's a terrible idea and it's gonna tear the channel apart, or that you're very excited for it, or anything in between, because I'd actually really value your feedback before the actual hard polling part starts. So, manga first or Phyto Friday first? I'm gonna roll a die. What do I got? I got a D6 here. All right. Ooh, I know what I can do. Hold on. But yeah. Yeah, baby. That's right. Why are you buzzing at me? It's so weird to have a thing on your face that buzzes. Beep boop. Okay. You can't tell these have a little camera in them. I got them because I thought it would be cool to ride around on a bike on them, but the field of view is really tiny, so they're kind of useless. It does, sometimes you can see like my hair from my perspective, which is nice. Hopefully I can get this in frame. I didn't say what I was gonna do. I was gonna do first half one thing and the other half the other. Okay, so I'll choose again. 1 through 3 will be Phyto Friday. 4 through 6 will be Manga Monday. Okay, great. 1 through 3 is Phyto Friday. And that's a 4. We're doing Manga Monday first. Let's tell ya. Acha. I don't know. If that doesn't come out, then I'm just gonna look silly. But if it does come out, I'll put it over here and you could see me seeing things from my perspective. Once the tech for this kind of stuff is better, this is going to be fucking awesome, people. Like, come on. This was not an expensive pair of glasses, I promise you. It was very not expensive. It's kind of a piece of junk, honestly, but it would be so easy to make it slightly better and put maybe 2 cameras on there so you get bifocal. Oh, man. We're almost there, man. We're almost there. And then they've got the Nreal Airs for, like, watching screens and stuff. Woo! We're almost there. Let me know if you want me to get a 360 camera so that I can record myself and you could, like, sit next to me and watch a screen. I don't know if that would work, but I feel like it would work. Anyway, we're doing the Manga Monday part first. Okay. There are some manga out there. Like, a lot of them. There are some manga out there that will never, ever get adapted into anime. Some of those are on this poll. Some of them aren't. Some of them I put on the poll initially and then took off because I wanted there to be a consistent number of shows on both polls. Because I live for weird consistencies like that. In no particular order. Goodbye Eri. Very short, 1 volume, 1 shot, gives us an immediate opportunity to course correct after a short time reading Goodbye Eri. Might be very appealing to you. It is a Tatsuki Fujimoto, I think. If I'm wrong, then fuck. Fire Punch. The one by that author. Will be very interesting if that wins here and something else wins on the Friday, then we'll be in sort of a Fujimoto sandwich, but regardless. Fire Punch. Kind of can't not put it on the poll, I think. Vagabond. As far as I know, it has stopped being written, but it is not technically finished, but it is considered one of the greatest manga of all time, and one that would be incredibly difficult to adapt, potentially impossible. Full Metal Alchemist. All of us have seen Full Metal Alchemist or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I've seen both. A lot of us have seen both. Most people have seen Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. For a lot of people, it's fundamental to their beginning experience of anime. It used to be the primary thing that gets recommended, and indeed, when I've asked for, in my Discord or elsewhere, for people to, like, what's a show that you'd recommend to newbies just starting out, just trying to get into anime, FMAB always comes up in the conversation, and I think for good reason. It does all of the things. It really does them all, and to me, it is one of the stories that is nearest and dearest to my heart. I've never read the manga. I've played for a long time with the idea of rewatching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's a great reaction show. It's a great analysis show, especially. And while I've seen it multiple times, there is an immense amount of information and love and joy to extract from a piece of media like that. But the opportunity to read it in its original format, untrammeled by the questionable decisions of FMA originally, whether you like them or not, they are weird, and slightly like the original from FMAB, yeah, I'm into doing that. So I'm putting it on the poll because it deserves a spot on the poll. Whether it'll actually get any votes is up to you. I don't know. I think it's popular enough that it might, but it's like old and it's a rehash in that I'm not seeing it for the first time, so maybe people won't be into it, and maybe they will. Part of this is exploring that territory and finding out. 20th Century Boys. Naoki Urasawa. I have no idea what that manga actually is, but I know Urasawa's writing, and so I'm very intrigued. There are a lot of other manga that could take the 6th option slot for this poll. I thought about putting Kingdom and Blade of the Immortal and Real and All You Need Is Kill or Gantz. They're the same thing, right? Are they the same thing? I think they're the same thing. And I decided not to put any of them. And in fact, not to put a manga. Oops. The last thing I'm putting on this poll, I don't know what the audience for it is. I don't know if there is an audience for it. I suspect there might be an immense audience for it, but I'm not sure. The last thing that's going on this poll is me reading out loud the unabridged version of The Romance of the Three Kingdoms. When I look it up, there's one that gets primarily recommended as the English unabridged translation. That one. I don't know if there's an audience for it. I'm willing to do it. I love doing it. Lots of people like the books, series, Shakespeare. I'm really scared to announce this because I have a feeling it might win. I could be totally wrong. It might get 0 votes. But also China might be in my chat right now. And then it wins. So I'm okay with that. I'm really intrigued by it. I've been watching Paripikome. I'm really intrigued by the passion and the way that people speak about this piece of media, this piece of ancient old content is really interesting to me. People treat it like a foundational text, and one thing that I do not have is a good understanding of Chinese foundational texts, and I think that would be something that would behoove me to know about the modern world, given China's place as an economic and cultural power. Just in general, there are a lot of people who not only speak Chinese, but grew up with this sort of text as their foundation, and I'd like to know a little bit more about it. So I'm gonna put it on the poll, and we'll see how it does. I have no idea. We'll see. So that does it for the manga and enormous novelization of a historical epic poll. Friday. 3 letters is actually the rule that I chose in order to trim down the shows that I'm going to put on the Friday poll. 3 letters. If I could figure out a way to make it look like it's 3 letters, it can go on the poll. Otherwise, it can't. What does that leave us with? I think you can think of a couple of these very easily. The first one that you will think of immediately is Chainsaw Man CSM, and it's on the poll. The second one that you will think of very easily is Jujutsu Kaisen JJK, and it's on the poll. Those 2 alone would be probably an interesting head-to-head if I had my guesses. But we're going to shake it up with a couple of sequels and something that you might not expect. Maybe 2 things that you don't expect. Jesus, we'll see. We'll see, man. MOB, or MP100, which is too many letters. Mob Psycho 100. Mob. Season 3, I haven't seen it yet. I think it deserves a slot on the Fight to Friday poll, and in general, it's a fucking great show, so I'm intrigued. VS2, Vinland Saga Season 2. is a show that exists, and I watched season 1, and we had a great time with it. And it's pretty good, and I'd like to watch more of it. Let's see if that happens. And now for the things that you might not expect, but might be hoping for. The first of them is MIA, which I have said repeatedly that I will not put on a poll because I feel like I've been spoiled on some aspects of it. I've been convinced that, one, it doesn't matter if I've been spoiled on any aspects of it. Basically, my spoilage is that it gets dark. That's not much. That's not much at all. And even if I was completely spoiled on the story, it would probably still be worth experiencing because it's about the journey, baby, not the destination. And also, I don't think I've been spoiled on it that much. So, MIA Made in Abyss is on the poll. And finally, Re:Zero is on the poll. So that is Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, MOB, VS2, MIA, and Re:Zero. And that's our poll. So we've got 2 polls, 6 options each. The double down dirty dozen poll. And that's what we've got, guys. I don't know how any of this is going to shake out. There are so many weird things in each of these polls, so many popular shows, but I think that I've managed to figure out a way to stack it with like things that are popular in different groups and different subcultures, and then different time periods and different like eras in a way that might actually work. So we'll see. I feel like this is going to be a fierce competition, and I have to go actually make the polls now. And then post them, which will probably take me the hour that I said it would take me. So, see you in a bit, when I post the video talking about how much of a disaster this poll was and how I need to remake it. Hopefully that doesn't happen. And I hope you enjoyed this little rundown of what I've planned to do and why I plan to do it and some of the thought processes behind it. And I hope you'll come join us in the Patreon, which costs $1, both for voting and early access to all videos and access to the Discord where you can yell about which things that you want. Please join us and support the content and the continuous creation of interesting, hopefully, I hope, analysis of things. I would say anime, but now there's manga on the poll and also on an epic. It's like I've put Gilgamesh on the poll or Ulysses or I'm scared. I have to literature. I haven't literatured since it's been a while. I haven't literatured in a while. I've filmed, haven't literatured. Man, oh man, I'm excited and scared. I hope that a little bit of that nervous tension can rub off and become interesting. And I hope that this poll goes in awesome directions and leads to some cool shows. I think I'm excited to watch or experience or read or go through everything that I've put on this poll. I think I can say that with certainty. There's not a thing on here that I don't want to watch. And so here we go. It's in your hands now, and I'm happy to let it play. Off to the races. Peace.